Hi everybody, this is Millie. Welcome to Millie's Meal Planning on a Budget. You know, one thing I hate to do is waste food. And today I found that I have this bell peppers, which I used yesterday for another meal. So I'm going to be making some breakfast tacos. So let's get started. Here I have the pan. It's already on, and I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So I'm adding the olive oil. Looks like the pan is a little hot already. So, and then what I did is I chopped one potato. I cut it in small little pieces, and then I washed it and I dried it. So I'm going to fry the potatoes. The potato, it's only one potato. And lower this a little bit. You know, one thing about breakfast is that you can have breakfast for breakfast, you can have it for lunch, you can have it for dinner. And actually, it's something that my family loves. And actually, a lot of people love to have breakfast for dinner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the potatoes cook. They're gonna fry for a bit. I wanna make sure that they're totally brown. So once they're brown, I'm going to be adding the other stuff. So because they're cut so small, it's not gonna take that long. But you just have to make sure that they are totally brown. And then we come back to them. I'm gonna toss them a little bit. Now I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt, or I'm sorry, half a teaspoon of salt. So half a teaspoon of salt. And half a teaspoon of pepper. It's good to season everything as you go. So I'll toss it a little bit more. And then I'm just gonna let them get crispy and cook in the inside, because right now only the outside is a little bit crispy, but the inside is not cooked yet. So I have to wait for that. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the pico de gallo. Okay, so here I have onions. So the onions are on the bottom. I have tomato. I have jalapeno peppers, so I put about 2 jalapeno peppers. So I have the onions, the tomato, and jalapeno pepper. You don't. I put 2 jalapeno peppers. You don't have to put that much. You could do maybe half. You could take out the seed. You could do both. So all depends on your tolerance for heat. So, or heat tolerance. So, and then I also put some cilantro. So I'm going to add a lime to this, or half a lime. But most likely, I'm going to add the other lime, the other half. So it's going to be 1 full lime. And then you're going to put some salt. So I'm gonna put half a teaspoon of salt. And of course that's to taste. You could add more later. And I'm going to also add half a teaspoon of pepper. Maybe a little bit more. So now you'll mix it all up. And actually the longer this sits, the better it tastes. So, and especially in my house, pico de gallo is something that is never gonna go to waste because everybody in my family loves it. So you could use it on tacos, you could use it on nachos. So actually it's up to you. So you see, so the pico de gallo is done. Okay. And like I said, you could add more salt later so you could taste it. I like to wait until the food is all done to make sure that it doesn't clash with whatever I'm making. So I'm just gonna let it sit there and marry all those, have all those flavors marry. I mean, this is amazing. Pico de gallo, okay? Another thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut some avocados. So I did one already and I added some lime. I just squeezed, you know, a little bit of lime. But I just wanted to show you because I just wanted to show you that for some reason, I don't understand why people use sharp knives to cut avocados because they're soft. You could use a table knife for this. And so why risk cutting your hand or your fingers? So the avocados are very small. These ones are very small. So what you do, if you're using a sharp knife, the best thing to do is to put it on the cutting board like this and to just cut it like this. Okay. So if I do it like most people do, because this is a table knife, I'm not going to run the risk of cutting my hand, okay? So there you have it. I just wanted to show you that you don't need to use a very sharp knife to slice an avocado or to cut an avocado. So now we're going to put some salt on this. So let's put some salt and pepper. So again, about half a teaspoon of salt and about half a teaspoon of pepper. Kind of noisy there. So you just mix it all. Then you go in. Let me stir this for a bit. So you see the fries? So it's like little potato fries. Very small pieces. But you want them kind of crunchy. So I'm just gonna cook it just a little bit more. Okay, so going back to the avocado, so I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit of lime. And that's so that the avocado won't get black. Otherwise, if you don't put lime on the avocado, it's just gonna turn black on you. And we don't want that. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, so there you have it. So there is the avocado. So you just cut it in small pieces safely. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these potatoes out because they are getting They're getting crunchy or they're getting brown already, but it's perfect. This is what I want. This is exactly what I want. So I'll put them back in a paper towel to drain some of that oil. Okay. So there are the potatoes. So now going back, well, let me do this first. So I have some fresh onions here. I chopped about a quarter of an onion. I just want something fresh. So I'm gonna saute those onions now, or that onion. Gonna saute for a little bit. Make sure that it's translucent, so, and you'll know how you like it, because you know, like a lot of people like the onions kind of crunchy, so I just want to cook it just a little bit, saute it a little bit. Now I have the leftover peppers, which is the reason why I'm making the tacos. So I want to cut them in small pieces. And I think because they're cooked, it's easier to cut them like this with the scissors. So I'll just cut them in small pieces like this. Okay, and these already have a lot of flavor, so I'm just gonna use them like this. I'm not gonna add anything else to the pan. I'm not gonna add salt or anything. So because the peppers already have a lot of flavor. If you have watched my previous video where I make the fajitas, you'll see how I like to flavor my peppers and onions for the fajitas. Let me go in here and cut them a little bit more. You can cut them as small as you want or leave them large. But because I'm going to mix in some eggs, I like to cut them pretty small. You know, if you have something that you like, why toss it out? You know, use it for something else. And this is one of the things that I like to reuse, is the peppers and the onions, and this smells delicious. You know, and when it comes to breakfast or tacos, actually tacos is the easiest thing to make. You know, you can make tacos with anything pretty much. A lot of people make them even with potatoes. So right now I fry the potatoes and they're going to be included in everything else, but some people make tacos with just potatoes. So hey, you know, whatever you have, just use whatever you have to make your tacos. Okay, so now this is almost done. So there are 8 eggs here. I'm going to put half a teaspoon of salt. And half a teaspoon of pepper, or maybe a little bit more. You can spice this any way you want. You could just add anything you want on this, on the eggs, in the eggs. So I added the salt and the pepper. I'm adding 1/3 of a cup of half and half, which I'm going to put it in the eggs. That's gonna make the eggs a little fluffier. Oh my God, it smells so good in here. The peppers, the onions, and all the spices that all of the peppers had is making everything smell amazing. So you mix the eggs well, and then Then you add them to the mixture here. Okay. Okay, so you add them to the mixture and just let it sit for a little bit until the eggs start cooking. Okay, so the eggs are almost cooked. So, you see, they look very good. Some people like the eggs very creamy, but my family doesn't care for creamy eggs. They have to be a little bit more solid. So now that the eggs are cooked, now I go in and I add the potatoes. So the fried potatoes. So this is something perfect. This is something to do if you're cooking for a lot of people and you don't have, you know, like a lot of eggs, or you don't have, you know, so this adding the potatoes actually increases the amount of whatever you have. So, and they're also a little heartier. So the eggs are done. So doesn't that look amazing? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to warm up the tortillas. So those are the eggs. And for the tortillas, I have to warm up the pan. And I'm going to add about a tablespoon of oil. Okay. So about a tablespoon of oil. I don't like to use a lot of oil. And because I have corn tortillas are kind of difficult to warm up in the microwave. So, you know, like flour tortillas, you could warm it up in the microwave and they won't break. But corn tortillas is better if you warm them up in a little bit of oil. You don't have to fry them, but warm them up in a little bit of oil. So it's a little bit hot. And I'm gonna put 3 tortillas. I like to put a little bit of cheese because everything has so much flavor. I'm using mozzarella cheese. Mozzarella cheese is lighter, so it's always better to use it when you have a lot of flavor, but you could use whatever cheese you want. So you just wait for the cheese to melt a little bit. And then, so the cheese is melting and you can see that the tortillas are getting warm. So then you go ahead and okay, let me remove some of these things out of here. Okay, so then, so you have the tortillas the cheese is already melted. So I'm going to put the tortilla in the plate. So all tortillas are in the plate. And then I'm going to take the scrambled eggs and I'm going to put 1 spoonful of the scrambled eggs on the tortilla. Okay, so there, the pico de gallo on top. And then you're going to take the avocado and you're going to put some avocado on top. Okay. And then you put a pinch of salt, just a little bit. Okay, so there you have it. Breakfast tacos. You can have them for breakfast, you can have them for lunch, you can have them for dinner. So this is a huge taco. Mm. This is very good. Try the recipe. I know you'll like it. This is the easiest thing to do, whether you're doing it for your family or friends. Try the recipe. Go into the comments. Let me know what you think. And I love to hear from you. Thank you for watching.